I manifested my husband. Dun, dun, dun. Are you hooked already? And how does the fact that I manifested my husband link to running a business? Because this isn't this a business podcast? Yes, it is, my love, it is. But I wanted to share with you how I manifested my husband into my life. He hates me saying that, by the way, because he's like, no, we met at a meeting at work, and I was like, babes, you have not. We need to go back in time. We need to go back, back, lean back. My brain was like, what am I talking about then? What song am I singing? If you're watching on YouTube, there is a hair that is winding me up on my head. Right, what is that? Where is it? Sorry, you're like, I've just tuned in. This is my only time in the day that I get to myself, and you're flapping about a piece of hair. I just want to let you know as well before. Oh, but if you just found me, my name is Claire Hill. I'm a self-belief and business coach, queen of unstoppable self-belief, and you've just landed on one of the best podcasts about business that you can find, because we don't bullshit. Well, I don't bullshit. I'm talking about it as it is. I'm a real person. You could probably look and think, yeah, I can relate to that. I can relate to her. I'm a normal woman with really big dreams. And yeah, I make them happen. And this is what this podcast is all about, basically. But the side note is you'll be really, well, you won't give a shit really, actually. But the lighting in my recording studio, which used to be my office, as you can see now, has been a problem for a while. And I worked out how to do it. But you know what the thing is that I'd actually worked out the solution ages ago, and I just couldn't be asked to sort it out. Today I've been asked, and currently I was going to say blowhole. It is not the blowhole. What is it? Window that's in the ceiling. Spotlight? No. Oh, you're shouting it at me, aren't you? The window in the ceiling, the blowhole. Let's call it the blowhole. It's not called a blowhole though. Whatever it's called. I'm going to forget that I've forgotten that. So DM me. The light, it just doesn't work for recording. And I've worked it out with some of Jackson's card, my son's card, and some tape and climbing. So we sorted it. We're sorted. And there's always if there's a problem, I'm going to find a solution. So I'm going to take you back to when I was 27. And my problem was that I needed a man. Well, I thought I needed a man. And actually, this is the whole point of this manifestation thing, is I didn't need him. And I wanted a man. There we go. But it goes back even further about manifestation, because I was thinking about how the university I chose, I really wanted a university that had trees. And my wonderful godfather, who I call Uncle Chris, at the time, he helped me go to universities because we didn't have a car and stuff like that. And so I said, right, I found these two courses. They're all about management of services for adults with learning disabilities. And I could specialise in that because that's what I wanted to do. And I was like, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to Plymouth. Now, I live in North Kent. That is a good 5 hours drive. 5. Plymouth's a while away. Or Brunel, which is West London. Funnily enough, the university he went to Brunel. So 18 years old, I'm like, come on, let's get in the car and go to Plymouth and back in one day. Bloody hell. I don't know how he did it. It was about my age at the time, I think. Mental. And so as we drove into Plymouth, me being a very visual person even back then, said, yeah, I'm not going to go here. There aren't enough trees. And the way he looked at me in that moment is like, we are going to look though. I was like, oh, okay. And have a Burger King. Okay. So we went and had a look, had a Burger King, came home. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to Plymouth. I didn't care about the distance. It was the trees. I remember really vividly driving into Plymouth. If you're from Plymouth, good for you. But as you come into Plymouth, you go up and down. And I was like, yeah, no trees. Can't see enough trees. So, no, not for me, thank you. And when we went to Brunel, I was the last year to graduate from the Osterley campus. If you are a Brunel West London student, Osterley campus is in Osterley. Well, it's actually more Isleworth, um, on the Great West Road, where the Sky head office was right next to the Tesco's that we went to. Shout out to Sham because I know you're listening, and our great was where we went to uni. It was right near Twickenham. So I used to work at Twickenham and Harlequin Stadium, and we used to go to Richmond and went to Kingston Oceana. It was like the best place ever. And as we arrived, there was trees. I was like, yeah, I'm coming here. He was like, right, we do need to list. Should we have a look around? I was like, yeah, but I'm coming here. I'm decided there's trees. So, but even back then, I had this very visual idea of what I want. Maybe I could make happen. Maybe at that point, I was sort of like dabbling a little bit. And then, fast forward a little while later, when I was working on my first proper business. And when I say this, right, I had a business when I was 14, that you can't really count as a proper business, I suppose, because well, no, I made £6. So, dabbling. I used to do businesses. I used to um, absolute born entrepreneur. I used to go around to my friends' houses and say, I'll tidy your bedroom if I can have that pencil case. And I would. And I did. So that was good. I did that. Babysitting, ovs. And then I had a eBay business with my friend, Mark. His last name is Kraj. So, well, we called him Kraj. So we, it was called Vid and Kraj Enterprises, and we sold stuff on eBay. And what was really surprising is that very worn out rugby shorts sell like hotcakes on eBay. I'm going to leave that. The reason why that happened, I'm going to leave that over to you to work out. And then then I started Violet and May. And Violet and May, I started in 2009. And I remember just having these visions in my head of what I could make and making it. Oh, and before that, I used to make clothes, and I would just have this idea in my head of like, I never used patterns. I would just make it and it would just happen. And so I always felt quite good about if I've got something in my head, I can make it. So with Violet and May, I did that. And then when I was doing Violet and May, I just was like, right, I could probably fit this business around my job. And then I went self-employed. But every single moment, it was sort of like, well, if I can make that happen, I might be able to make anything happen. And so I stepped it up a gear. I was with somebody for a few years, and then he decided he wanted to go in the Marines. And I just did not want to be with someone that was in the Marines. I wanted to have a husband that was going to be there and not go off and do X, Y, Z. So I was like, no, I really, I love you, but I can't do this. I was quite proud of myself actually, because I think, the standards that I'd set myself for that relationship, we got on so it was such a good relationship. I mean, I might be remembering it wrong to be fair, but I was happy-ish. I know I was happy, but I just did not want to be a Marine wife. Did not want to do it. So I sort of risked that, going, look, I've got to step away. And in the heartbreak of doing that, I sat down and I wrote a list. And I was like, right, I am not going to settle for anything less than this in my next partner. Not going to do it. So I had stuff like can cook, can drive, because my last boyfriend couldn't drive. There was a whole thing about why do I go out with people where I have to ferry around? I mean, listen, that's another story about my other love life. And then I just wanted to be taken care of. I wanted someone that was older than me, because again, a couple of boyfriends had been younger. It's like the bloody me trying to be their mum. That's what it was. Even at 27, it's ridiculous, isn't it? How thing like that. Again, that's probably a whole podcast episode about what happened to me when I was a kid and my role as a young carer and how that would come out in my relationships. Mental, crazy. So I did, so no, I wrote down this lovely list. I've still got it. And I was like, this is the standards. 3 weeks later, I met my husband. And when I went back to that list, because I'd sort of like checked before, because he asked me out, never been asked out before. All the times that I'd sort of met these other people, I'd either asked them out first, like for a date, or we'd got along somehow in another way. So it was like this, it, it was like very new and weird. And also he was really nice to me. And I was like, why are you being nice to me? You're a weirdo or something. Like, why you're being too kind. Stop it. I remember someone say to me, so what, you don't like him because he's being nice to you? And I was like, yeah. So I did really push him away at first, but then I was like, hold on, you've written this list and he ticks literally every single box. And yeah, easy relationship. We're 13 and a half years in. He's a pretty good bloke. He's all right. He's a love of my life. Yeah, people take the piss out of me because I literally just I'm obsessed with my husband, and he's like, oh, God's sake, I know you love me. And I'm like, yeah, but do you know how much I love you? Do you? I do love bomb everybody though. But this is how it relates to your business. So now you've had my love story for the last 12 minutes. Now I'm going to share with you why it matters to your business, because I use this exact thing all the time for the business. Also, I just want to say that I feel like I manifested my childminder. The fact I manifested my house because I was very clear on what I wanted, and then I found it. I wanted my childminder, who's a really good friend of mine now, Lou. I really wanted her to live 5 minutes down the road, and she does. I wanted to be able to get married very quickly and get pregnant very quickly. Very, very lucky for that, for having Jackson very quickly. Very lucky for that. And yeah, I just think, well, if I want a business that is a certain way, I'm going to make it happen. And I do not, now I've got unstoppable self-belief, which I'm teaching you in my new course, Supersonic Self-Belief. Oh, by the way, I'm recording when this comes out. Supersonic is out there, all finished. The people that were very clever and got the founding member offer I had, founding launch crew member thing. You got it, and you know it's fantastic, right? It's top dollar. But I'm literally recording it today after this podcast, and I am so obsessed with this course because I know what I am teaching is the kind of stuff that you can get obsessed with. It's the kind of, have you ever done a course? Maybe it was with me, where you've done a challenge or a masterclass. You're like, I don't want it to end. I can see how everything I'm learning is going to make my life like so good, so much better. So many dreams are going to come true because I'm literally in the zone doing this course right now. That is what this, I'm like obsessed. And even better, the book. I am writing the book. It's called this course, and that is, oh God, I'm so obsessed. I'm obsessed. I'm so excited about what I'm teaching. Like my imposter syndrome is quite loud because like, do you know what you're doing? Obviously, my dad was going to say that to me. And then I was doing it. I was like, I really know my stuff. There was just like this clarity of, this is going to change lives. This course is going to transform people, how they see themselves, how they can figure out their doubt, how they can stop spiraling, how they can have a dream and they just make it happen because they've got unstoppable self-belief. Like, there's going to be so much more good in the world because of this course. So excited. So if you want to get your hands on it, go to don't know the URL. Go to my website. It's first on the menu. Go and get it, my love. You can dive straight in. By the time this comes out, there'll probably be 2 chapters. But they're like, they're deep. They're good. They're good. I'm so excited. So when I have something that I want to achieve in my business, I do it. So my big dream, so I'm going to say it out loud, for the next 12 months, is the book, launch the book. October 2026, I'm going to have at least 100 people in a room, maybe more. I'm going to start working on that because my best mate Bex, who also listens to the podcast, is going to be my events manager. And I don't know if she knows this yet, but you'll find out now if I haven't told you already. You're coming to London with me and we're going to go look at venues. All right, babes. But yeah, I'm already crazy excited about that event because I know that at the front of that, and I can see it right now, at the front of that event, there is going to be piles of my book and people will be given a book with their ticket. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to be a published author in this time last year, and I know it's going to happen because I can see it. And the last book that I've written, the book that I've written, which I will actually publish because I've written it, so I just need a bit of work. Writing that has shown me that it's completely possible for me to write a book in I think I wrote that in 2 months. So I think I'm going to have the first draft done by Christmas and then start editing, proofreading. And my client, Becky, who I coached to support her to publish her book, seeing her book actually in people's hands and in my hands has just turned a fire on in me. So I'm like, right, I'm ready. I'm doing this. This is happening. But it all starts with how you see that vision in your head. So to wrap up this podcast episode, I want you to just sit and really think about what it looks like for you in a year. Where are you? What are you wearing? What have you eaten? What are you looking forward to? Are you proud of? And really sit in that and then just ask yourself, what is the first step? It's just the first step. I love this idea of manifestation because you can believe that anything is possible for you. But the one thing that really, really needs to be talked about is the action and what happens when the doubt comes up. So when you're manifesting, your doubt is going to say, you can't have that. And I don't know if there's enough support from people that teach manifestation about the doubt that comes up. So if you get together, because my manifestation works because I've got a handle on my doubt and my self-belief. So if you get your Supersonic Self-Belief course with your manifestation knowledge and get them married and together and in love, you will be making your dreams come true. Fact. You watch. I'm watching you. No, believe me. If you've got any questions about this, please tell me, show me. But I don't do anything about manifestation apart from create the vision and think about it all the time until I'm feeling it. And then I take action and I monitor and keep control of my doubt that gets loud. And if you have got a dream that you keep thinking about, but your doubt gets loud, you now have Supersonic Self-Belief, the course that is going to give you the unstoppable self-belief of your future self who already has it. All right, babes? I'm full of the joy today. Full of it. I might even get another podcast episode recorded. You never know. Okay. Well, I can manifest it, can't I? All right, my love. Have a wonderful day wherever you are. And spread the word. Share this podcast with someone who wants to giggle, who has a business, who is on the same wavelength as you. Subscribe and follow if you haven't already. And I would love to hear from you. Never ever hold back from sharing about this podcast, like your thoughts and feelings. Somebody did it the other day. She was like, "Oh, your last podcast resonated so much with me." And I was like, "I love you." Excuse me. She found me actually by searching on Instagram self-belief, and I came up, listened to my podcast, booked a cuppa, and I'm coaching her next week. Bang. Thank you, marketing strategy, for working. Can't wait to work with her, buzzing, absolutely buzzing. Okay, my love, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I shall see you very soon. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to the No Rest for the Vivid podcast. Written, produced and hosted by Claire Hill, and music has been composed by my brother, Phil Vick.